All right, let's talk about rack systems. I've had both of these racks for over a year now, so I think we can talk about how they're doing. Obviously doing very well because they're still standing and they're still holding my animals. So I would suggest buying one of these rack systems if you're into racks. So I know racks are a huge controversial topic with the breeders. Are they ethical? Are they good? Are they bad? Should we be keeping them in rack systems or not? I really don't want to get into a huge argument with that. If your snakes are healthy, they're eating, they're thriving, they're surviving, they look good, and they have at least room to move around in, that's really all that matters. And I'm not the type of one of those people that are going to bash people on what they keep their animals in, unless you got like a retic in here that can't move around and you got to stuff the animal down while you're pushing the bin in. Then I think that you got to upgrade at that point. But on ball pythons, the 5530 is perfect for young juveniles all the way up to very large breeder females. Most of the industry people use the 5540 for even their 3,000 gram ball pythons. Now that's a big snake. They might not have a lot of room in here, but they're putting them in here. I have a 7030 behind the camera. If these girls get over 2,500, 3,000 grams, I might move them over to the 7030 and then put some of the holdback snakes in here. So the one thing that I do like about this is it looks good. It looks more like a nice piece of furniture than it does like an industrial factory built cage. I know Freedom Breeder has ones that normally look like it's just made out of steel. I personally don't really like the look of them. They look too industrial, too factory looking. They work well. A lot of people use them, but I just personally like the look of this. It's clean, it's simple, it does the job, and it looks good to me. The bins pull out super smooth all the way in and out. The one thing I wish they could do, and I don't know how they would do it, is put tabs on the end. So when you're pulling these out, you don't accidentally pull it all the way out, drop all the bedding, drop your snake. But you just have to be mindful of how you're pulling these out. If you got a bunch of different racks with different tub sizes, you might get a little, going from the tiny ones into the big ones, you might drop one or two. But I just wish they would do that. That's the only thing that I wish they would do on this. Other than that, this rack is amazing. And I like the heating on this. So let's look at the tubs first. So this tub is super nice. It's a good size, nice and long. It's got good height on it. So these snakes look really good. And I do like the fact that it has a mold already in the plastic to hold your water. So that is very nice. You just put an 8-ounce deli cup in there and then you're good to go. I don't know why anybody would buy these with no water holders, because we're going to find out on a vision rack of why I don't like that. So I like how they did that. I like that option. And the heat panel, so that each level has its own panel that goes length to length, and it's about 5 inches. I think you can upgrade to like an 8-inch one or a 7-inch one, which is, I don't see why you would really need that because the length or the size that's on here now at 5 inches, it covers a lot of real estate and is perfect for the ball pythons as is. So I am running a thermostat on this just to regulate the heat on the back of it. So what I also like is that these tubs actually touch the heat panel, so you don't have a lot of airway getting in between them, so it's direct contact on the heat. So then it's a lot easier to adjust the thermostat, and they're getting direct heat when they need it. So that's what I love about that. I would buy more of these. I think these go for like $2,700, whatever taxes, whatever shipping is. I live close enough where I can take 2 hours, drive one way, and pick this up and save on shipping, although shipping might be cheaper than renting a U-Haul and driving all that length. But I don't know how long you'd have to wait on shipping. You'd have to talk to them about that. So I don't really have that much room in this bedroom. So we'll move the light around and then we'll swing the camera around and look at the other style rack system that I do have. And I do like this rack system right here. It worked. I bought this used, so I don't know how the factory of Vision works. I know ARS has good customer service. Vision's been around for probably forever. I don't even know, 30 years or more, 20 years. Very long time, so their name stands for themselves. And I know they're big plastic PVC-ish. Their one-piece mold 8-foot cages are phenomenal. I really want one. They're super expensive though, so I'm probably not going to be able to afford one of those anytime soon. But anyways, The rack system on this one is really cool. It's like a modular style. I don't know what number this is because I bought it used and I got a better deal. I think these go for like $1,500-ish on the website. But what's really cool about this is you can put different style tubs in the one rack. As you can see, we have some nice smaller tubs in here. And then this is a male Enchi Yellow Belly Fire Clown. Phenomenal. Holdback, I think. So we're talking about this one. It does not have a mold for your water dish. So you got to get a 6-ounce deli cup to put in here. These don't slide very well. They're kind of stiff. So pulling them in or out, it gets really shaky. So you're going to spill water, which I personally don't like because I have, bedding and then some on paper towels for different reasons, but you're going to spill the water everywhere, and then you're going to have a snake soaking in water, which I would prefer them not to be doing, especially the pieds, which is why I have these on bed or on these on paper towels, because I use different types of bedding, the Repti chip or cocoa blocks or whatever it is. When it gets wet and they soak in it, it runs off this weird dye color. I'm not calling any bedding company out on this. I've noticed it with multiple different companies. And then since pieds are white, they sit in the dye and then it dyes their skin or their scales this weird brownish color. But once they shed, then they shed off that layer and then they look perfectly normal again. But until then, you got a snake that looks not very pleasing because it's been stained this weird color from the dye or whatever from the bedding. But that's just my personal view on it. I wish there was some way for that to incorporate a mold where you could just put the water dish in there. So that was a long little rant on why I have most of the pieds on paper towels so that they don't get that weird dye color. But then all the clowns and stuff are on the mulch because it doesn't show up if they get dyed. But anyways, so you can put those in here, and then you can get the smaller ones like oh, can't really see those. I got my heater in the way down here. Ugh. So, and then you can get different ones in here for, they're a little bit wider. So, which is always good. You get the wider ones, as long as they're the same height, then you can mix and match these as they go. Now you can buy different spacers and you can make them wider. So then you can buy bigger tubs and you can slide them in long ways like that. So you can have different sections about small ones, medium ones, and you get bigger space and you can put bigger tubs in their long ways for a lot more room, a lot more width on there, which is really cool because you can have a setup with your hatchlings, your grow-ups, and then your adults down there without any problems. The heating on this is used with heat rope, which is weird because it's only like that thin, and then it ropes all the way across and then back, so you have very, very little real estate of heat. And then because there's a lip down here where it sits in, you have a nice gap between the heat cable and the actual tub, so you have to adjust your thermostat of the heat, being lost while it's rising to the tub, and then the heat going from the tub to the animal. So I think you can buy from other companies heat panels that work on this. I think I've seen that before. I don't know all of what would go into that, but that would be a fantastic idea. So this one doesn't look very pleasing. It just looks like ugly plastic put together. It works. I know people who have 30 of these in their building and they run the heat cable or whatever you guys want to run, tape, and they don't have any issues. I know some people have issues with fires and they don't hook them up right to the thermostats or whatever, but I would just replace the heat cable every couple of years for a good peace of mind on what's happening. But overall, this is for way cheaper than the ARS racks. This works perfectly. If you get it used, there's nothing wrong with it, and I just wish it looked a little better. I wish the drawerish areas were a lot smoother for the water issue, And then the heating, I wish that was just a little bit better, but I know it sounds like I'm ragging on this thing, but I like it. I like the different options you have with it, the tub options, and this works perfectly as where the babies are. The ventilation on both of them are very well. I've had phenomenal sheds on both systems, and I've had really crappy sheds on both systems as well. So nothing is perfect, and my light keeps on getting messed up. But there's always good and bad with everything. Nothing's perfect. So hopefully that helps you pick between one or the other. Like I said, I have no involvement with Freedom Breeder or any of the other ones out there. You can find small mom and pop people that will, small business owners that will make these for you for probably cheaper, custom, and you can support small businesses, or you can support the big guys that make bazillions of dollars every year with a good warranty and stuff like that. So it's up to you guys on what you guys want to decide. I'm just showing you these two options. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Sorry we didn't see any snakes on this one. The next video we'll take a tour around and we'll look at a bunch of stuff. So see you on the next video.